Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we're taking a look at the track Homesick by the American post-hardcore band Dayseeker. This was track number 4 on their most recent album Dark Sun, which did release in November of last year. Prior to the release of the album, frontman Rory Rodriguez actually went through quite a difficult period. Around the time of the birth of his child, he also lost his father, and what initially was meant to be a single track that was released to actually kind of incorporate his feelings ended up resulting in a whole album, hence the title Dark Sun, because he had a glorious moment and a really rough moment that happened roughly around the same time in his life. And the band have certainly come a long way from their initial sound when they started releasing albums around 10 years ago. Initially starting out as quite a heavy band, they've really gone on to really invoke more of the emotive side, all aided by Rory's very unique voice in pulling out that emotive, soulful element into a lot of the band's music. So will this track feel like home or make you want to run away? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
Meet me where the lines blur together. It's 4 a.m. and I can't sleep. You're the only thing I felt forever. Waiting for the morning to be over, but it's all I have now. I'm lovesick, love sober. You left the light on when I had a broken heart. I'm lovesick, sober, waiting for the morning to be over, but it's all I have now.
And already off these first couple of verses, we do see this contrasting style that is being brought into this track. The idea of when the lines blur together at 4 a.m, almost the dusk and the dawn coming together, that nighttime and daytime, and we saw it with the title of the album as well in the form of Dark Sun, and we see this concept being brought through in these first couple of verses. Love sick, love sober, so almost like these two comparatives at either end, these really mixed emotions and feelings that he was having around the tough time in his life. Part of him wanted to be full of love, and part of him wanted to feel very empty. So really pulling out that actual emotive side, really putting his personal perspective into the track, and that's what helps add that emotive feel to it, because it's coming from a personal experience that certainly means so much to Rory as a singer, and that adds that extra strength element to this song. And certainly with this track you can see that lighter feel that it really adds to that emotive style of music. You wouldn't want really heavy guitars and really heavy screamed vocals for a song that's all supposed to be about this feeling of kind of being slightly lost and you're not sure whether you want to be full of love or just without it. And with these soaring notes that we have got from Rory, it really helps to add to that element of the ability to sing along to it and really connect with the actual track. And it's something that he's able to do very well with his voice. You just draw these long notes out. Really, again, it's something else that really adds to that emotive feeling within a track.
You're my defense when I'm bleeding. You followed me through hell and back. Cover me in gold when I need it. The morning to be over, but it's all I have now. I was free in the fall, now I'm lost in the moonlight.
love how they've still kept in many of these rock elements, just not as heavy as we do usually see from the band, but really just finding that fine balance between mixing the synths with the rock. You can go too far one way sometimes and it really loses that feeling, but they blended them together very, very well, and also keeping that personal perspective coming in through the use of the first person, through I, you, really just keeping it feeling personal and really helping to others resonate with it if they have gone through a period of mourning when they've lost somebody, which everybody can relate to. So a very simple song that people can really get on board with through its clear-cut message of handling those feelings when somebody does pass on and you've got other things to consider. Yes, it certainly is a very beautiful song. You can really see how it shows what he was actually going through, Rory, at the time. He felt hopeless. He was in that period of mourning, and then with the birth of his child, he kind of was given that spark of hope that really kind of brought light to his life. So you can see that through the actual lyrics really coming through in that emotiveness, and almost the idea that a lot of the good points follow on from the bad. So he touches on the mourning coming first and then the hope coming after. So it kind of fits in chronologically, and obviously it's one of those songs that you kind of resonate more when you understand the backstory behind the actual tracks that went on to this album. And I think it's a beautiful track. It doesn't have massive lyrical complexity, it doesn't have tons of different lyrics, but it has that simple, clear-cut message that really works. And because they've melded in this melodic style that people can really sing along to in these soaring choruses, it doesn't need this great mix of lyrics and really in-depth storytelling, because the story is completely personal to Rory, and it's something that everybody can resonate with because almost everybody has gone through a period of grief or mourning. I also really liked the way that the band actually managed to balance very well these synthy elements, these very light elements, with this rock sound that was still being brought in, not moving too far away from their common sound, but also keeping something new. It's almost something like synth rock that's really being brought in. We're seeing a lot more bands really trying to adapt this style because it's something that bands tried to do around 7 or 8 years ago and they couldn't quite get it right and it wasn't as well accepted. But with a lot of bands really starting to push the boundaries on what is considered post-hardcore or metal or different areas such as that, we're starting to see these types of song be much more accepted by the wider community. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comments section below. If you haven't checked out the album Dark Sun, it's definitely worth a listen. It has plenty of emotive tracks because it's an album that completely is focused around Rory's situation that he was put in with the loss of his father and the birth of his child, and you can really see that shine through in many of the tracks on the album. And if you are someone that enjoys that synth rock style, this is the perfect album for you in the form of Dark Sun, so definitely give it a listen. And as always, if you want to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next Dojo analysis.